Good evening, welcome back to another deadline stream. There's only 7 deadline streams out. I mean, there's only 6 left after this one, and then that is it. I just tweeted out, I think this could be like the, a bit like the calm before the storm. It feels like, I don't know, maybe least interesting was a bit harsh, but there's no double game weeks. A lot of people are kind of just waiting a little bit longer to get more information, then make their moves for the doubles. So you've got a lot of, oh, why is there a square on my face? God damn it! The problem is I don't know if I can fix this quickly. It's a face. Oh, you stupid camera. Hang on. I'm going to try and fix this. Please be off. Please be off. Ah! God damn it. How do I fix that? Okay, bad news. Okay. We might be done. We might be done. It's face recognition, right? It's like, you know, track it. It's like it's still on the camera right now. Like, oh, I can see it. You can, but it's not supposed to show up on. It's not supposed to show up on here. So I don't know why it did that. I'm having a bit of problems with this camera recently. Anyway, it's done now. Yeah, it feels like everyone's just like slightly waiting to make their moves for kind of the doubles that can't got a double next week. Possibly a double in 34 if Man United Chelsea gets moved. We will see. That was an improvement. Come on. Come on. FPL PT in the chat. 8 months member. Thank you very much. Oh, I've got big toe. I've got a big toe pain, by the way. So if you see me wince throughout this stream, it's because it seizes up when it's still. So yeah, I thought I'd just let you know that. Best Leicester defender. I think it might be Castagna, but I've got to be honest, I don't really know. Like, Justin will probably start this weekend. How many more minutes will he get over Castagna the rest of the season? No idea. No idea. Fofana, 4.3 million, should start most games, but I'd want them out of Europe, I think, before I kind of, you know, really locked in on them. Is Romero to Doherty too sideways? It's one of those moves that you'll probably regret not doing, but you should probably never do it, if that makes sense. It's a bit like Rudiger to Reece James. It always feels like one of those moves you should never do. And to be fair, I feel like every time people have considered that, and I've said, no, Rudiger's gone and scored. I think if you've got nothing else to do, then fair enough. Yeah. I wish I could... I wish I could give you more than that. I don't really know. If you've got nothing else to do, go for it. I think Doherty's way more exciting than Romero. Weghorst Payne. I'm confident. Weghorst and Rafinha. Let me bring my team up. This is the week. This is the week. I'm telling you. Here we go. Son captain. Rafinha vice captain. Weghorst in the team. I'm probably gonna roll. I've kind of had like a little bit of a last minute. I kind of want a free hit in 33, but I don't think I've given it enough time. I think there are certain things like information we could get after this week where I'd be glad that I didn't make the move. I don't even know if I'm going to buy Fernandes next week. This is the thing. I'm very indecisive this week. The only thing I know is I'm rolling this week, but after that, I don't know. I don't know. Scenes when Weghorst doesn't get booked and lasts 86 minutes. It'd be amazing. Play Luca Dean and roll or Tierney to Cancelo for a hit funded by downgrading Salah to Foster. No chips left and already have Reece James. A hit to get Cancelo. I don't really rate that, to be honest, especially for downgrading the Salah. I mean, Foster's playing Leeds. I expect Leeds to score. I'd probably just play Luca Dean, to be honest. I mean, could you do Luca Dean to like a Newcastle defender? Get Wolves this week, double game week next week, and maybe use the money to fund Cancelo a different way. Different defender, maybe. Bench 1, Wood, Romero, White, or Robbo. Now, I think it's got to be Romero or Robertson, I think. Maybe Romero, just about. Kyle Patrick, thank you very much for becoming a member. Adrian, thank you very much. Keep it up. Daniel, 1, roll free transfer 2. Tierney to Dalot, Justin, Laporte. I don't think you need to do Tierney to Laporte this week. I don't know. I mean, Dalot and Justin obviously both got double game weeks in 33. If they both play both, I'd probably just roll and see how you feel next week. The Weghorst is turning into Mbombo. Yeah, I mean, again, like question key: who do I sell Weghorst to? Who do I sell him to? Honestly. It's just not worth a transfer. Like, if Leicester had got smashed last night, like 4 or 5-0, maybe I would have considered Iheanacho, but I just don't see it otherwise, to be honest with you. Tierney and Jimenez to James and Cucho, other striker. I mean, you could go Pookie, maybe. There's double in 36. I mean, it depends. Like, if you're not going to go for Kane, it's very hard to get, like, a decent double game week striker in 36, so Pookie might not be the worst option. I'm just saying. Maybe Mateta for 37. Cucho's okay, I guess. Tierney and Jimenez to James and Cucho. I mean, sounds pretty good to me. Borat, hello. Which two? I'm not going to do the first bit. Which two do I bench at? Cancelo, Ziyech, or Guimaraes? Newcastle. What weird options? Yeah, Ziyech is a doubt apparently, but he's not completely ruled out. I think you've got to bench the Newcastle guy. And then probably, I guess you just play Cancelo. Do I still have a cold? No. Does it sound like I have a cold? Size for Shah for a hit? Nah, probably not. Just do the move next week for free. Should I captain De Bruyne, Salah, Rudiger, or Saka? Probably just Salah, to be honest. We're in a weird week where some people are considering captaining Salah and other people have sold him. I mean, it's Salah. It's Salah, you know. It's just Salah. What week would you recommend to use a wildcard? I saw a lot of comments about wildcard on the videos this week. Like, I feel like I've said it 1 billion times now. Maybe you haven't watched the videos. I mean, I think it's pretty much game week 34. I mean, it depends what chips you got left. You could hold it till 35. It depends what your team looks like. But game week 34 seems like a pretty nice week to just reset. Like, by game week 30, like, there is potential. It doesn't sound like it's very likely from what the fixture guys are saying, but that if Chelsea go out to Real Madrid, there is a chance their game against Man United, their double, could move to game week 34. If that happens, it suddenly makes buying a Man United player next week a bit more desirable. Like, I would definitely, like, right now I'm on the fence about buying Fernandes. If they also double in 34, I would definitely buy him, even though the fixtures are tough. I'm going off, yeah. I don't even know how I got onto that. Oh yeah, wildcard. Yeah, probably just save it till 34 now. I can bring Bruno in for a -4 without selling Salah or Son. Do you think it's worth it? I mean, who are you selling? A -4 for Bruno? Unless you're like really set on him being the best captain, I don't think it's really worth it, to be honest. Who do you prefer for this game week between Maddison and Bruno? Bruno, yeah, for sure. Bruno. I'd have Bruno over Maddison for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, a lot of people not sure about the goalkeepers. It's pretty close. In the back of my mind, I'm thinking I probably should play Sarr because he's my main goalkeeper. But I think I think Newcastle have been all right. I think I'm just going to go. I think I'm just going to go with the guy at home, to be honest with you. I wonder if FPL Salah has posted his clean sheet stuff. Yeah, clean sheet percentage. Newcastle 32%. Wolves 30%. I'm going for Newcastle. Confirmation bias secure. Kulusevski versus Maddison, best double game week 33 asset. I mean, if you're solely basing it on double game week 33, it has to be the guy with 2 fixtures, right? So it has to be Maddison. There's a bigger conversation around whether or not, if Leicester is still in Europe, whether it's really worth doing Kulusevski to Maddison. But I think, yeah, for 33, it has to be Maddison. Triple captain Salah double game week or De Bruyne double game week, probably Salah. Bench, Weghorst or Martinelli. I read that. Weghorst. I just wanted to. I'll take an assist right now. I'll take an assist. I'll take an assist from Rafinha and Weghorst, to be honest. One each, by the way, not between them. The only thing with Martinelli is he's not guaranteed to start, is he? But I'm going to assume he comes back in for Smith Rowe. It's not guaranteed though. He always comes off early as well. Can I really say to play Weghorst over Martinelli? It doesn't sound good to say that. The thing is, I guess the question is, are we even 100% sure that are we even 100% sure that Weghorst starts? I'm going to say Weghorst. He's playing Norwich. I'm going to say Weghorst. I'm really doubling down on the Weghorst bandwagon. Captain Weghorst over Son. All right, let's not go too far. Gabriel Doherty or any other exciting defender under 5.6 to dead end this week, or just to dead end into 32. Or do you mean dead end into 33? Because there's a big difference. I mean, Doherty's a pretty good option. I mean, I think Gabriel's pretty good against Brighton at home. Brighton don't score a huge amount of goals. 2 free transfers, Salah and Jimenez to Ronaldo and Sancho. Also considering Maddison instead of Jaden, looking to dead end into 34. Yeah, I quite like that. If you're dead ending, Salah and Jimenez into Ronaldo and Sancho, why not? Go for it. Doesn't sound that bad. Sancho or Maddison is probably fairly close. I think just because you don't know about rotate. I don't think Sancho gets rotated next 3. So I'd probably just go Sancho and Ronaldo, and then hope for the best. It'd be typical Man United to just mess up against Everton, who have just been so bad. You reckon this game will have the least amount of transfers of all game weeks this season? Possibly. I mean, obviously we're later into the season as well, so there are just less transfers being made because there's less people playing. That's the beauty, right? We all think towards the end of the season we go up in rank because we plan and we nail the double game weeks and the blank game weeks. The real reason we go up in ranks is because everyone stops playing. Loz, how's it going? Game week 34 dead end and Sancho and Fred for Coutinho and Saka free. Maddison captain 2 rogue or potential method to the madness. There's no method to go in Fred. There's no method to go in Fred. Sancho is okay. I guess you need Fred to fund Sancho, but Saka's got a good game this week. He's got an okay double as well. I don't know about that, to be honest. I think, for me, it feels a bit rogue. Best Coutinho replacement, probably a Leicester midfielder, I would say. Can I have confirmation bias to bench boost in 33? If you've got a good bench, just do it. Just do it. If you can bench boost in 33 with a good bench, where you're not worried about players missing out through rotation and stuff like that, why not? Why not? Yeah, as I saw someone just say in the chat, and I can't find the message now, make sure to give the stream a like, hit that subscribe button, all that good stuff. Bench one of Weghorst, Trent, or Robertson. Captain Son or Sarr. I mean, I guess Sarr is playing Leeds, right? But I think it's got to be Son. I mean, it's got to be Sean. Would you free hit 33 or 37? One free. Honestly, I'm going to be honest. I can't look at a team and tell you which week to bench boost in. It's just no way I can give it enough thought to give you an answer that's kind of like fully justified. I mean, it looks like you've got a fairly similar team to me, apart from you're maybe better off in 33. Like, you've got Laporte, you've got Kane, Maddison already. So I'm going to assume you're probably better off free hitting in 37. But with that, you know, do you know what I mean? You need to do a bit more kind of research into the team to know that for sure. But off the top of my head, quick answer, I think 37 might be better. The thing is, like, for my team, I've kind of run it through kind of rate my team stuff. I've also ran through transfers that I just want to do myself, so like my own opinion on when to bring players in. And I do think that free hit 33 has potential to be better, but I don't think the difference is big enough to warrant just going through with it, because I think, if Man United, I know it's a long shot, right? But if Man United and Chelsea go into Game Week 34, that changes things. If Man City go into a different game week, that could then affect when I bring the Man City players in. If Chelsea go through in Europe, if they overturn, that might change my opinion on Chelsea players. So essentially, I think free hit 33 on paper might be better than 37 for my team, and if obviously the same for anyone that's got a similar team. But I don't think it's enough to not value the extra information from going later on. I might free hit in 36, I don't know. But I think the way it looks right now, 37 is probably better. Which is funny, because I talked about free hit 36 so much. Who to bench out of Robertson and Coutinho? Probably Robertson. Honestly, I think if you're really stuck between two players, I think I said it on team selection or something, I don't think we should go out of our way to bench Trent, Cancelo, Robertson. But if you're ever going to bench them, this is the week to do it, right? Am I watching the Masters? Nope. I don't really have much interest in golf, to be honest. I haven't ruled out free hit 36. At the end of the day, I don't need to lock anything in right now. I'm rolling a transfer and then I'm just going to deal with 33. I'm just saying that right now I think free hit 37 might look better. But if it's 36, so be it. I'll change, right? I'd have to... Nothing I do this week is going to affect what I do next week. Oh, sorry, when I free hit, I don't know what I'm saying now, to be honest. I've lost it. Tellez or Gabriel for Alonso, I will wildcard 34. Do you know what? I feel like Tellez punt is on. I do feel like the Tellez punt is on. I mean, Everton haven't scored a huge amount of goals. They got 2 goals last week, but that was both penalties. Norwich at home looks pretty good. Obviously, Liverpool's tough. Honestly, I think Gabriel is the safer pick, but I think Tellez is a bit more interesting. And maybe, just maybe, depending on what kind of manager you are, if you're wildcarding in 34, what is the worst that can go wrong picking Tellez over Gabriel for 2 weeks? How big a difference in points can there be? I would like to think, I'm not saying I would definitely do it, but I would like to think if I was in that situation, I would go for the punt on Tellez. But it's Man United, right? Who knows? Varane's out. I don't know if that makes a huge amount of difference, really. I think Maguire and Lindelof's okay. Okay-ish. I'm not saying they're elite, don't worry. Are you more likely to free hit 37 if City double in 36 or 37? I don't know if it makes... I don't know. To be honest, I've not really given it much thought, because I don't need to. I've given it a lot of thought, but also not a lot as well. I just don't need to, right? Because I don't need to make the decision this week. On the top of my head, if City free hitting 37, I don't know. If City double in 37, that might make it better. I'm not saying definitely, but it might make it better not to bring City players in and use transfers on other players and then free hit them in 37. Or maybe have 1 or 2 less City players in my actual team and free hit to have 3 in game week 37. So I don't know if it would necessarily change when I free hit, but it might change which players I bring in. I think if City double in 36, then it makes a lot of sense to just bring them in, right, and get it done. And but we don't. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter right now. Salah and Broya to Son and Iheanacho, or Kane and Smith Rowe for 1 week. I don't know about Smith Rowe. I think I'd rather go for Martinelli, to be honest. I think Martinelli might start. I think Son and Iheanacho is interesting, but Iheanacho could be benched. It's just tough to know. I mean, so could Smith Rowe, so could Martinelli. So I think I'd just go the Kane route, to be honest. Play Tony or Robertson. Tony. Best captain, De Bruyne, Saka or Bruno. Bruno, Everton. Yeah, not De Bruyne. What I don't understand this week, I'm sure it's only a minority of people doing it. I don't get people doing Salah to De Bruyne this week. I just don't get it. And I'm not saying that's what you've done, Simon, but I've seen people talk about it, and I don't get it. I do not get it at all. Apart from the fact that Salah hasn't scored recently. De Bruyne, Saka or Bruno? I'm going to say Bruno out of those. Kane or Fernandes, captain Kane. I think Kane's the obvious choice. You want to go differential? Go Fernandes. Game week 32-33. Robertson, Coutinho, Lukadim, Rafinha to Jet. No, I mean, I don't like this already. Why are you getting rid of Rafinha right now? or Robertson, I don't think I'm going to get my head around this one. Robertson, Coutinho, Luca Dean, Rafinha to James, Simicast, Bruno, Martinelli -4. I guess this is over the next 2 weeks, right? You're not getting rid of Rafinha before Watford. Or Robertson, Coutinho, Rafinha to Doherty, Martinelli, Bruno. Okay, so it's the -4, and essentially you're getting James in instead of Doherty. You're still getting Bruno either way. So basically, that question, if I'm reading it right, is Reece James for a hit or Doherty? I'd probably just go Doherty, I think. Fantasy Football Scout thinks Daka starts over Iheanacho. Yeah, it absolutely could happen. Absolutely could happen. I think this is one of those things about, we go into next week, let's say we go into Game Week 33, Leicester are knocked out of Europe, they lose 1-0, right? They don't get smashed, so the team's done well, but they lose 1-0. Suddenly Iheanacho becomes a nice pick for the double, I think. Maybe a little bit of a differential, you know? Daka will still play some minutes, but it becomes a little bit more interesting if they go out of Europe. Bench 2: White, Cancelo, Robertson, Martinelli, Bowen. But you're not going to bench Bowen, are you? Surely. I would say bench. Who's Mateta got? Leicester, right? Away. Barnes is okay. Bowen's okay. I'd probably bench Cancelo. Yeah, I'd probably bench Cancelo and Robertson. Oh my God, I'll tell you what, there's a lot of us in trouble if Liverpool versus Man City is 0-0. I'll tell you that now. That would be the worst case scenario this week, 0-0. Good for the league. Good for those of us that want to invest in those teams because they're going to keep playing their full squads. But 0-0 would be a nightmare. There's going to be so many Robertson, Trents, and Cancelo's benched. Best Tierney replacements 32 and 33. There's loads of replacements, right? If you really want a more thorough answer, I'd go and watch the Game Week preview video today. I talked about it a lot. But if 32 and 33, I mean, off the top of my head, I'd say you go for a Leicester defender if you want to take a punt. Otherwise, go for maybe Tellez or like Target, Burton, Shah from Newcastle. Probably the best bets. Just to get some double game weekers in there, because you're wildcarding in 34 anyway. Header, Dubravka, weak bench, but good 11. Roll or get a defender who... I mean, Trent, Van Dijk, James, Tierney, Amar... I mean, you could just play Trent and Van Dijk. I don't think it's that bad, and just roll. The rest of the team looks okay. Weak bench, fine, but you just have to hope everyone plays. I think a lot of people with double Liverpool will bench one, yeah. It depends who they got on the bench, right? I mean, I honestly think I'd be benching Trent right now if Tierney was fit. I just think for Luca Dean, I mean, I suspect that Luca Dean is probably, like if you were to go on like, no, I don't know actually, Spurs at home, it's pretty tricky. Oh God, someone's just tweeted me, says, basically me, is it, let's talk FPL, is the only reason why I still have Rafinha in my team. Poor person. It would just be a beautiful end to the story if Rafinha gets his double-digit haul this week. I mean, if you can't do it against Watford, maybe it's just never going to happen. And as someone pointed out on, I think it was team selection, I was saying it might be the last time I have Rafinha in my team this season. It might be the last time I have Rafinha ever again, right? Because he could move. It probably is the last time for him in my team as well, but there are scenarios where I keep him, but I'm not going to get into that now. The scenarios are few and far between though, because there are certain situations where I could just bench him next week, but I probably won't. Bench one of Robertson, Cancelo, Kulusevski, Barnes, or Vegas. I think I'd bench Robertson. I mean, it's between Robertson and Cancelo. Cancelo's at home. I'd probably just bench Robertson. Have Trent, Cancelo, and Robertson. Don't want to play all three. Who would you bench and or transfer Dawson out for someone with better fixtures? I mean, again, it's going to depend a lot on chip strategy. Like Tellez, Newcastle defender. If you're wildcarding in 34, maybe a Chelsea defender if you're not. Have Trent, Cancelo, and Robertson. Yeah. I would just bench Robertson if I was only benching one, to be honest. It has been a pleasure. Well, it's not really been a pleasure this season for me with Rafinha, but overall, it's been a pleasure, Rafinha. All I need him to do is outscore Barnes this week for mine and Simply FPL's bet, and I need him to And I need him to outscore Coutinho again. Because ever since Coutinho smashed him, Rafinha's continued to outscore him. And he even missed a game. He missed a game and he's still outscoring Coutinho since game week 28. Not by much. Not by much. But it feels like a moral victory. So if he can smash Coutinho again this week, that'd be good for me. Okay, I'm going to put a poll in the chat. Let me see just how many people are doing this. Okay, holding, buying, selling. What other options are there? What are you doing with Salah? Holding. I'll just put keeping. I think that sounds better. Keeping, buying, or selling. Let's get a poll in the chat. Let's see. God, do you remember when like every single stream was when are the polls coming back? Every single stream. They just got rid of them. It's much better how they do them now, by the way. If you could do them on the fly. I just always forget to do them. If you had 2 free transfers this week, what transfer would you make with your team? Now, I feel like that's a way of saying, I've got the same team as you, but I've got 2 free transfers, so what should I do? I'd probably sell Tierney. For who? It depends what chips I've got, right? Probably a Newcastle defender, I think. Maybe Tellez. Depends how much money I need to have in the bank, really. How can you sell Salah? I don't know. A lot of people talking about it, though. I'm sure the thing is, it'd be one of those. The thing is, like with the FPL community, and I definitely include myself in this, is that a few people say something like sell Salah, and then so many people are like appalled by that decision that they all start talking about it as if like everyone's selling Salah, and I'm definitely guilty of that, by the way. It's probably not going to be that many people that actually sell him. I mean, we can see right now, right? We can see how many people have sold Salah already this week. Transfers out this round. He's been sold by 172,000 managers. Wow. I mean, there's quite a few engaged FPL managers these days. I mean, Coutinho's been sold by 311,000. Salah is the second most sold player. All I'm saying is that shows you how many people make, in my opinion anyway, I know there's a lot of people wildcarding in 34, so they're taking a bit of a punt before 34, that's fine. But how many people judge players on recent FPL points? Because if I said to you a few weeks ago about selling Salah, right, because I can't remember what it was about. Maybe it was about captaining this week. And I was saying how we might not captain him this week because of Spurs players. And all I got back was, well, did you not see what he did against Man City, the reverse fix? Did you not see what he did? Oh, Man United, he's going to smash Man United. And now he's not had a couple of goals in the last few weeks. Everyone's like, sell. Not everyone, though, like I just said. It's just a small minority. But I think it just shows how many people value recent points. Yeah, okay, when I say everyone, I don't literally mean everyone. You don't have to tell me your situation is a little bit different. I appreciate not everyone's doing it for those reasons. I'm not saying that. Effective ownership might be less than 100. Maybe. Yeah, maybe. The bad thing about that is it means that like someone like Harry Kane will be over 100, and then that hurts, especially if he finally outscores Son after the last couple of game weeks. Ah, yeah, an option for don't have him. Damn it. I knew there was one more. I even had 4 originally, and I changed it to 3. Yeah. I guess if you don't... yeah, fair enough. It's too late now. It's done. Okay, see, so most people are keeping him. 83%. 83%. But then again, that could be a biased poll because you're in this stream and I don't want to sell him. Maybe that's having an effect on some other people. I just think a couple of weeks ago, people thought he's going to smash Man City, he's going to smash Man United, just like he did before. And he hasn't got a couple of... like, I know what people are saying. He looks off form. He doesn't look happy. But I feel like that's all thing... like, he's probably not happy. He's not scoring, right? Doesn't mean he's going to stop scoring forever and ever. I just think, like, all it's going to take is one goal versus Man City, and then people will be in a panic about Man United. I guess at that point, you've probably bought Fernandes, and he's got a double game week, so who really cares? So fair enough. Good luck to you. Good luck to you. Let's talk. It depends what chips you have left. More than any other season. Like, this season's just crazy. Next year, well, apart from the freaking World Cup, it'll be much simpler, I'm sure. It'll be much simpler. Start Shah or Trent. I'm gonna say Shah. I mean, it sounds so stupid to say that. He's not been offered the fee he wants to sign a new deal. Yeah, but the contract's been up in the air all season. Why was that not an effect on his performance earlier on? They're going to give him the money in the end. Captain in Foden this week. Thoughts? I think honestly, there's a lot of players that are better captain options than Foden this week. I mean, Foden in game week 34, 35, maybe 36, fair enough, but and maybe 33, I guess, if you want to go single game week. But this week, I think there's loads of better options. Like when I'm shocked why people are getting in Newcastle players. I'm a Newcastle fan. Yeah, I mean, when you say it out loud, starting Shah ahead of Trent does sound a little bit crazy. Don't get me wrong, it does sound crazy. But Wolves at home's not a bad fixture. I think Newcastle have generally improved under Howe, and obviously the signings as well. But last week wasn't great, right? Getting smashed by Spurs, but they're not playing Spurs; they're playing Wolves. Sebastian, Doherty, Shah, Robertson, Trent, Salah. Where's the question? Transfer Tierney or roll? I mean, you can probably roll, right? Ramsey, Tierney, and Bro. I mean, you're very similar situations to me. Again, if you're wildcard in 34, you make a transfer almost certainly. You probably sell Tierney to someone with a double next week, but I think you can roll if you're not. Saka to Zaha this week? No, I don't really know why you would do that. Or Rafinha to Zaha next week. Yeah, that is probably the better play. I don't really see any reason, unless you think that Arsenal are just suddenly going to lose the plot because of their injuries, why you would sell Saka this week. Does not having Kane in game week 36 scare you? Not at all. In fact, that's probably one of the only weeks it doesn't scare me, because it's 2 games, I get it, but they're tough games. I'm more worried about not owning Kane this week and in game week 38, to be honest. I mean, maybe 33, 34, but whatever. Like, I've had Son's outscored in the last 2 weeks. I think it's close. I'm not going to keep worrying about having Kane over Son. I think it's worth the moves. I mean, I was thinking about it before the fixtures came out, that I was going to have to make the move, but I don't know if I do now, to be honest. I'm still listening to Phoenix. Christ, I need to turn it off. What will I put on? I might put Queen on. I'm going to put Chicane on. Okay. Now I've lost the chat. Play Robertson and save a transfer, or bring in Iheanacho for King and bench Robertson. Just play Robertson, I think. I don't think you can be that sure that Iheanacho is going to start. Vicky, thank you. Chris, Salah to Fernandez, wildcard of 34. Mo will come back in. Nice, yeah. Bench Reese 33. Thoughts on Havertz to Barnes, Maddison? Yeah, especially if you're going to wildcard out of it. I don't know if you would. Yeah, no, sorry. Yeah, whether or not you wildcard or not, I quite like that. Arsenal fan, Lacazette could be dropped. Yeah, but he could also not be dropped. Honestly, I don't mean this in any harsh way. I don't think you need to be an Arsenal fan to know that there's a chance Lacazette could be dropped, because he hasn't scored since last year. But ultimately, I think the way they play, I think Lacazette's more than just goals. Obviously, they want him to score goals as well. But I think he's a little bit more than that. I think if you put Martinelli up front instead, or Smith Rowe as a false 9, I think you have to kind of change the style of play. I don't actually think Arsenal are going to change formation or anything. I think Tavares is going to get another run out and just get a chance to prove himself. I think Saka's not going to move to left back or left wing back or anything like that. I just don't think Lacazette's getting dropped. I really don't. I'm not sitting here saying there's not a single shred of doubt in my mind it could happen, but I'm not worried about it at all. Apart from that single shred of doubt, I guess. I think the way they play, Arteta spoke about him as well, and he basically kind of said the same thing, that he's more than goals, but yeah, of course they'd like him to score goals. My girlfriend said if you make a doo-doo sound again, I have to turn the stream off. Yeah, but I'm listening to music, you know? It's going to happen, I'm sorry. Get headphones. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do. Coutinho for Maddison, Barnes, or any other, have 2 free transfers. Yeah, I think Maddison and Barnes bringing them in is okay. I think, again, it's worth saying, you bring in Maddison or Barnes, there's always a chance one of them gets benched, but other than that, yeah, I think it's a good move, to be honest, especially with no chips or anything like that. Best 1 week punt. There probably aren't that many. There's probably not as many interesting punts as you think this week, to be honest with you. I mean, honestly, if I didn't own Rafinha, I'd buy Rafinha. I'd just buy Rafinha. If you've got Rafinha, honestly, if you've got Rafinha and you want to go for a midfielder, maybe Havertz, possibly. I think Lukaku's a doubt. Havertz might start again. Draft mode is so far clear. Draft relies a lot on the people, though, making transfers and sticking with it. Robertson and Martinelli for Doherty and Havertz for a -4. Robertson and Martinelli for Doherty and Havertz -4. I don't know which way around that is, whether you're bringing in Doherty and Havertz or bringing in Robertson and Martinelli, but I feel like it's one of those moves where I don't really like it either way for a -4. You're getting rid of Robertson, who's got a double in 36 and some pretty good fixtures before, outside of Man City, Man United, I guess. Martinelli, who may keep his place. For Doherty and Havertz. Havertz got Arsenal next week. I feel like you keep either way. I don't know which way around that is, but I feel like you keep. Whichever one you're on. Adnan, thank you. Chili Konkani, thank you. James, 343 with what? I was reading that then to see if you were Hwang, Wood, and Kane up front. I mean, Wood's okay. Kane's okay. I don't think Hwang's that great, though, to be honest. 3-4-3, I think you just shipped to 3-5-2 or 4-5-1, really, or 4-4-2, maybe. Wouldn't mind squeezing in Schmeichel before 33. Yeah, possibly. I mean, I don't need to do that because the Bravka doubles. But yeah, Schmeichel's a good bet, I think. Really good double in 36. Like Leicester players, I think it's like, what is it, Norwich and... Is it Palace? Oh, sorry, Everton and Norwich are high. I mean, that is damn good, especially if they're out of Europe. I mean, from an FPL point of view, it just makes things a lot easier if teams start going out of Europe. But obviously, it's close for Leicester. They could definitely win that game. I sold Salah for De Bruyne to get Son. All right, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. Captain De Bruyne or Salah? Salah. Adnan, Jonas, thank you very much. Captain Salah or Saka? Salah. Looking to make a midfield transfer. Mount seems the logical choice, but Salah or Cornet, in my opinion, are good differentials. Yeah, I mean, Mount is a very good option if you're bringing someone in and you're just holding them for a long time because of the back-to-back doubles. You hope they go out of Europe, etc. If you're wildcarding soon, then I'd probably go towards Sancho or Cornet just for the extra fixture and then just hope for the best. But Mount in general is a pretty good player to bring in. Oh, the tab with overall points, etc. are outdated. You're correct. Is there any... Do I need to change them now? I meant to change them before the stream started. I was just rushing a bit to get going. I was worried about my poorly toe, you know. Let me just do this instead. Well, I can leave the league code on there. Okay, we'll do this instead. I am gonna hopefully overhaul the stream a little bit for next season. This season probably not doable, but next season. There you go. Just get rid of it. It's probably quicker than updating it. Would you do Coutinho to Maddison? I have 2 free transfers and building towards 33. I have to make a move. Yeah, I think that's a good move. Like, I know I spoke... The thing is, I think, again, it's very tricky to cover every single different scenario that people have, but I wanted to just offer a different opinion on Coutinho in the transfer tips video. Like, is in keeping him, possibly, because a 35 is a good fixture, 36, 37, double back-to-back. But ultimately... Selling Coutinho this week is probably a good move for a lot of people, right? Spurs at home's not great. It's a tough fixture. Then he blanks. So for a lot of people, it's going to be worth moving him on. Most people are not going to have the squad to hold Coutinho through. So yeah, if you got to make a transfer, Coutinho to Maddison looks like a obvious one. Captain Ronaldo declared fit or Kane for chasing. I mean, honestly, I know we're getting towards the end of the season where maybe you have to make a few... I think it depends how far you're chasing. You can easily fall into a situation where you're chasing and you're X amount of points behind, so you go for a differential, and then you're just further behind. So you go for another differential, you get further behind. But we are coming into like the last few weeks now, so if you're miles behind, maybe go for Ronaldo. But honestly, I think Kane's pretty good captain. Yeah, Coutinho could double in 35, but if he does, he means he loses one of the 36 or 37. I can't remember which one it is. But again, it still means you've got to hold him from now until 35. So for most people, it's just not doable. Doubling up on Leicester attack, Maddison and Barnes 33. Very nice, yeah. Any other replacement for Coutinho and Rafinha? No, I think they're both pretty good, to be honest. Like, they just have a massive advantage that they have another 2 doubles, and an even bigger advantage that the double in Game Week 36 is really good. I will probably... my move next week will probably be Rafinha to Maddison. That'll probably be my move next week. I'm still not sure about Fernandes, because if I get Fernandes, I reverse it. The one thing I've considered, which I hadn't considered until today, is could I do Son to Fernandes and then just not get Son or Kane back? That could be a move, right? Possibly, maybe. I don't think I would do that, but I could do that. Something I thought about today. Just get Foden in, get the money to get Cancelo, and just forget about Spurs for a couple of weeks. I think I just don't know how if I... The thing with Son is, the thing with any Spurs player right now, of the obvious ones, the 3 that I've got, Harry Kane, etc., is you know they're going to start every single week. I don't know if I'd be so happy about Foden doing that. But the thought did cross my mind. But I could just keep Son, do Rafinha to... Like, I'm going to roll this week. I might even roll a transfer in 33. So do Rafinha to Maddison, roll the other transfer, captain Saka or Maddison, and just leave Fernandes. Unless Fernandes, unless he doubles in 34 as well, in which case I'll definitely bring him in. Like, no doubt about it. Why is Fred not a consideration? I mean, it's Fred. I don't know if I need to say any more than that, really. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. Fred's not under consideration because it's Fred. There you go. I think that explains it all. One free transfer for my defence. I have Trent and Robertson. The rest are bad. Who to transfer in? Reece, Doherty, or Castagna? Honestly, I think I would go Reece James. Like, I bought him in last week, and I've got to be honest, partly because of the points that Cancelo got, but also partly because I thought Chelsea were going to go through in the Champions League. I did regret it. But right now, I think there's a good chance, not a guaranteed chance, but a good chance that he plays this week. And I think there's a very good chance that they go out of the Champions League. And at that point, they have got FA Cup still to play, and they probably will win that game against Palace. Or at least they'll be odds on to win it. But I just think Reece James will then play a lot of minutes. So I think his feasibility, or it's probably a better word, right, in buying him this week, has definitely gone up after the Champions League. So I think out of Reece James, Doherty, or Castagna, I probably would just buy Reece James. Just because I don't know if Castagna definitely plays all 3 of the next 2 game weeks. So I think that's where I would go. Look, I like Fred, and I think where Ranieri's playing him is better than where he's been played before for Man United. But in terms of like getting FPL points, no. Nope. I mean, he might score. Okay, I've got this midfield, right? I've got Rafinha, Kulusevski, Son, Saka, Salah. Let me quickly go through some players I would not mind having in this midfield. Maddison, Barnes, Coutinho from Game Week 35, De Bruyne, Foden. That's another 5 without even thinking about it. That's 10 midfielders. Where the hell does Fred fit in? Where does he fit in? Even with a double game week, like maybe if it's to fund another player and you're going to bench him most weeks. But do you know what? Why am I even giving Fred airtime? Why am I giving Fred airtime? Makes no sense. He's just not a good FPL option. Sheriff, how's it going? Good luck to you too. Trent, Van Dijk, White, Sice, Doherty, play 3. Doherty, White and Trent. I think you could make a case to play Sice over Trent, but I think I would play Trent. Why are you benching Salah while they are fighting for Europe? I don't, to be honest, I don't really put too much emphasis on what a team is fighting for. I might do for whether I think there's going to be rotation. So if I think Leicester's priority is massively Europe over Premier League, then I'll put some emphasis on like who might start. But are Wolves going to play better just because they're fighting for Europe? Are they going to play any different? I don't know if they will. So I'm going to back the team at home. I could be made to I could be made to look stupid, more stupid than I am, but I don't really. I think it would be fine if I wanted to play Salah. I think it's pretty close. So I'm just going to go for the guy at home. Essentially, the thing is, without Jimenez, you think, well, that makes it better for Bravo. I actually think it might make it better for Wolves. I think Silva played all right last game. I think it was last game. Thank you. Jesmar, Coutinho and Tierney replacements. Possibly 2 punts because I'm free hitting in 33 and wildcard in 34. Okay, off the top of my head, really quickly, I'm going to say, are Man United at home this week? No, they're away. No, wait, that's the wrong week. It's away to Everton, isn't it? I'm going to say Havertz. I think Havertz for Coutinho, if it's just for this week, and then you need a defender for this week only. Punt. Like Castagne, but he might not start. That's the big problem. I'm going to say Justin, because I think Justin will start. So there you go. Off the top of my head, really quick thinking, I'm going to say Havertz for Coutinho and Justin for Tierney. Job done, if you can afford them. Start Ramsdale or Salah. Ramsdale, I think. Fred triple captain 33 confirmed. How can you say Wolves will play better if they got something to play for? Of course they will. That's the whole point in something to play for. So my question is, why did they not think a few games ago? Do you know what? We won't play really well this week. We'll wait another 5 weeks. We'll wait till 5 fixtures have gone. We just won't play that well. But now we'll play well. Why would teams think like that? Why are the points more important now than they were 5 weeks ago? Do you know what I mean? It's a bit like when people say, I'm not saying there's nothing in it. I'm not saying it can't affect teams at all. I'm not saying that it doesn't motivate players and that doesn't provide an increase in performance. But I think the differences are very minimal. It's like saying, we should really all just jump in on Everton players. They've got a lot to fight for. The reality is they're rubbish. They're near the relegation zone. And they're there for a reason. It doesn't mean I would never go for Everton players. On my free hit in 37, if that's what I do, I almost certainly have Calvert-Lewin. But I would play Salah over Dubravka because I think he's got a great chance at a clean sheet as well. I wouldn't play him because I think, they're going to decide to now play good, Johnny, best defender punt. Do you know what? Not a bad shout, that. Not a bad shout at all. Weghorst, Watkins, Lacazette play 2. Well, Weghorst and Lacazette, actually. I don't know, it's not that hard. Bench Kulusevski or Rafinha and play... Or bench Kulusevski... No, I definitely bench Watkins. Easy, I think. Gordon starts. Possibly not, to be honest. It all depends on Gray. Richarlison's playing on the left, Calvert-Lewin's playing up front, so it's Gray versus Gordon. It's just whether or not Lampard benched Gordon because he thought Gray was better the other day, or he just thought Gordon needed a rest. I think Lampard even said that Gordon's been one of his best players since he came in, so I think there's a good chance he starts, but I don't know for sure, if I'm honest. Cash, Cody and Ramsey. Cash, Cody and Ramsey or roll, or Jimenez out for Mateta. Jimenez out for Mateta is quite a good long-term move if he keeps his place. So it depends on what that money does for you. But rolling seems okay in your position as well. If you had Bruno, would I captain him? I don't know if I would. It's a tricky one because I was all for Son to Fernandes next week. So I was thinking, could I just do it this week? But then I thought to myself, even if I did it this week, I still think Son's a better captain. So I guess that kind of answers the question. Part of it is because I'm not 100% sure whether I'm buying Fernandes next week as well. But when I was kind of set on Fernandes next week, I did think, could I just bring him in this week to captain him instead? And I just said to myself, no, I still think Son's better. I know Son's got the trickier game, but his goal threat's just much better than Fernandes. I just think if you think who's going to get a goal this week, I'd just back Son over Fernandes. I think Fernandes is a great option this week for what it's worth, but I don't think I would captain him over Son. M2 Aslan, thank you very much. John, Nacho, Mateta, White, Shah, Justin for a 1 week punt. Yeah, I honestly, it would be Iheanacho if I thought he was definitely going to start. I mean, as a punt, I always prefer an attacker, so I guess Mateta. Possibly. If you've got any inside information about who might start, if you knew that Thingy was going to start Iheanacho, that is where you would go, but Oh, it's really tricky. It's really tricky to know. It's a shame, because if Iheanacho was definitely starting, like if Daka had picked up a knock or something, then Iheanacho all the way. You could still do it if it's really just a 1 week punt. Chris, thank you. Ahmed, bench 2. Trent Cancelo. What's the time, by the way? 6:10. Trent Cancelo, Davies, Fraser, Martinelli, White, bench 2. Davies against Villa. Yeah, Davies just not as exciting as Doherty, is he? I wouldn't bench Fraser. I wouldn't bench Martinelli. Maybe Trent and Davies or Trent and Cancelo. I can't really decide, to be honest. I mean, you could go Trent and Cancelo. Is Daka injured? No, Neil's got Daka starting. I don't think he's injured. I think he's just fallen out of favour, to be honest. Start Robertson or Dennis. Yeah, I think Dennis against Leeds. I guess the only slight issue is, does he start? I don't think he started the last game. Yeah, I think the thing is, if Dennis starts, then Leeds is a great fixture. Oh god, if I had Dennis, I'd probably start him. The problem is, if I'm completely honest, I don't know what the chances of Dennis starting are. Like, it's not like he's missed a lot of games. It's not that, could have just been a one-off. But the honest answer is I don't know. So if you want to be absolutely sure on a starter, you go for Robertson. But Dennis against Leeds, I mean, it's one of the best fixtures you can get, right? Zaha or Maddison from Marseille. I think Maddison. Zaha's good, but I think I prefer Maddison. Bench from Robertson, Trent, or Luca Dean. So much airtime, I'm afraid I'm doing it. Good luck. Ramsdale or Dubravka to start. Ramsdale. Tierney to Tellez or Robertson to Castagna. I mean, you probably sell the guy that's injured, I think. Sartre Schmeichel is okay for free. Yes, but if you've only got one free transfer, I don't think I would necessarily make that move this week. I'd maybe just give myself another week to see what happens, just in case something else you want to do. If you've got 2 free transfers, then Sartre Schmeichel's okay, yeah. Weghorst to Nacho or roll. Probably just roll. I mean, I'm rolling. I could do that, I guess. Start Cody, Trent or Weghorst. Havertz downgrade to who to enable White to Doherty? Honestly, if you've only got 1 free transfer, I would just keep Havertz for this week and just play White. If you have to downgrade him, Saka maybe Maddison if it gives you enough money. Bench one of Trent, Robertson, Cancelo. I think it's Robertson. I think in that situation, I would just hedge my bets on a clean sheet for Man City or Liverpool, and I would bench the weaker out of the 2 Liverpool players. So I'd probably bench Robertson. Tavares worth a shout. I think he probably does start, but I don't think it's enough to make me go for him. I mean, he's only 4.3 million, and one thing like he seems to want to do is attack. Right, he might not be the greatest defender, but he does want to attack. So it's a massive punt, though. I don't think I would do it. Son or Kane. I mean, same as like the last 4 months. Kane in isolation. Every week, if I had a choice between Son or Kane, I'd always pick Kane. He's more expensive, but he does take up a forward slot. So does it free up a midfield slot that you need? If so, great. Does the money affect you? If not, great. Go for Kane. Got 2 free transfers, need to use 1. Sancho for Coutinho or Wooden for Firmino? Good question. I mean, Coutinho is definitely only going to play 1 game next 2 game weeks. Firmino could play twice. Sancho and Wood are both going to play potentially 3 times. I think I'll go for Sancho. Cornet is a cheeky builder for 33 instead of Maddison. Yes, if you're wildcarding in Game Week 34, you could maybe go for Cornet instead. If you're not wildcarding 34, I think Maddison is definitely the one, to be honest. And he might be the one even if you are wildcarding 34. But if you want to go for a punt, go for Cornet. Just ask yourself, how much of that is because he scored last week? I know he's playing Norwich, so it's not a bad fixture. Start 2 out of James, Rudiger and Weghorst. James and Weghorst. Who to bench? Ramsdale, Pope. Coley to burn target this week or roll the transfer. Probably just roll. Unless you're absolutely sure you're going to... Like, if you're dead set on going for a Newcastle defender next week anyway, you could just do it. But honestly, I think I'd roll and play Cody. Arsenal clean sheet versus Spurs defence returns potential in Game Week 32. I mean, if it's Doherty, I think you could like. It depends what defender. Like, I think Gabriel's pretty good, but if it's Doherty versus White, would I maybe go for the more attacker one? I think I probably would. Justin or Fofana? I'm going to say Justin. It's a little bit of an annoyance that Ricardo started in Europe, though. It does show that Justin's not completely nailed. Should I roll my transfer? It will mean that I have 3 red players on the bench. I mean, I've got 2, so you've only got 1 more than me. It depends what your team is. Is it like I just don't think there's a valuable transfer I can make that is better than just having 2 free transfers next week. Like, if I was sure on my chip strategy, then I might make a transfer because of the bench, but I'm not, so I'm gonna go for it. Andy, I've got Tierney injured and Saiss scat. Oh yeah, that's a good point about Saiss. Saiss might not play. I didn't think of that because he got dropped, didn't he? Best I can't see 5.4 million. Yeah, I mean, I feel we've spoken a lot about defenders so far on this stream. I don't know if there's much more I can say. It's going to depend a lot on like chip strategy, etc. So all the same things. Tellers is a punt before 34. Newcastle defenders possibly, Leicester defenders, Chelsea defenders are really good for the long term. Although I guess you've got 5.4 million, you can't really go for them. In the morning when you wake up. You're 419th in the world. Congratulations. Congratulations. Will a historic performance guaranteed place in Champions League affect how a team like Man United approaches the end of the season? I mean, a couple of things. One, that rule is absolutely stupid and I hate it. I mean, there's basically the Super League in a kind of watered down way. I hate that. No team should get into the Champions League based on what they've done before. If you're not good enough to get in it now, you shouldn't be in it, right? Man United are not good enough right now to be in the Champions League. That's their fault, right? 2, I don't know how it's going to work. So I think historic performances. I mean, when was the last time Man United did well in the Champions League? I don't know how far back they stretch, but I don't think it changes anything in how Man United approach the rest of the season. To be honest, I mean, maybe if right now they were absolutely 100% guaranteed to be in the Champions League next year, no matter where they finish, maybe the players might switch off a bit, but I just don't see it. And I think with a new manager coming in, like, there probably is some players that are going to be a little bit like, I'm just sick of how things are going right now. But a lot of players might be kind of, I mean, pre-season's obviously going to be big, but a lot of players might be trying to show the new manager, look, I'm needed, keep me, etc. Get me playing, yada yada yada. So I don't think it makes any difference. Justin or Tellers for Tierney. I'm gonna say Tellers if you're wildcard in 34. If you're not, I think you just go Justin. If Leicester continue in Europe, there isn't double game week on 33. No, there definitely is. The only reason that Europe really makes a difference is to try and figure out who's going to get rotated. But even then, like, the thing is, Leicester could lose in Europe, and then they could still get rotated for one of the games in 33 because it would still be about recovery. But yeah, the game is still on. Play Cancelo or Kucha. Do you know what I mean, I hate these questions, right? Because you just if Cancelo does something, you just look stupid because it's like, well, it's Cancelo. Of course he was going to do something. Why would you bench him? But Cucho against Leeds, like, again, it's just one of the best fixtures you can get. For what it's worth, I don't have a clue who's going to start. Fantasy Football Scout have the starting 3 as Sarr on the right, Dennis through the middle, and Cucho on the left. So they have King and João Pedro not playing. Well, King's fine, right? He hasn't been playing much recently anyway. Yeah, I honestly, I think on paper there's a lot of players you could play ahead of Cancelo and Trent, etc. But it's one of those moves that you just look stupid. You just look stupid if it doesn't pay off. That's all. I just think it's a bit like Weghorst versus Norwich. I wouldn't want to necessarily go out of my way to bench attackers against Leeds. Like, I think Marsh has done well since he's come in, but it's still Leeds at the end of the day. I always expect them to concede chances. Cancelo's overrated in FPL. No, he's not. No, he's not at all. But this week is tough. Oh, my freaking toe, man. For anyone that was in at the start of the stream. Do I take De Bruyne out to afford Kane? Possibly. I mean, this week Kane is better. Next week it's getting closer. Game week 34, De Bruyne's got some pretty nice fixtures. Like, if you've already got De Bruyne and Son, I wouldn't necessarily make that move. No, not if I had to take hits either, probably. But for what it's worth, I think Kane is better than De Bruyne from now until the end of the season. If that helps. Foster or Sarr? I'd definitely start Sarr. I would look at that Watford and Leeds match and just think they're both going to concede. A bit like I think Liverpool and Man City. Brendan Rodgers said there'll be a lot of changes and big players will have their minutes managed. Did he say that? Was that after the game last night, or has he had a press conference today? Oh yeah. Changes will be made for Sunday's game with players returning from long-term injuries in particular set to have their minutes managed. Okay, yeah. So that's not necessarily players like Iheanacho. That's players like Fofana, Castagna, Justin Ulmer. I mean, they've been back a few weeks now, but they did have long-term injuries. Interesting. That's in this tweet here if anyone wants to see that. I missed that earlier when I was looking through press conference stuff. I just realised this second week... Oh, no. Actually, never mind. It's not. What? You're exactly 1,000th overall rank. What were the odds? Still not in the top 1k. Not quite, but you're only one place off. I really, right. Like, obviously, what's I going to say? Obviously, I'd rather win the whole thing, but that's impossible this year. It's another season without winning it. It's fine, though. I'll win it next year instead. I've got two ideal finishes now. I either want to finish 10,000th dead on, or I want to finish 9,999th. That's the only two places I want to finish now. I think I would honestly take that over a top 5k finish just for the storyline. I don't think I can get top 5k anyway either, to be honest, at this point. So that's really what I want. I want to finish 9,999th, or I want to finish 10,000th exactly. That would be ideal. I guess 10,000 first would also be pretty good. But that's it then. 10,000 second, nah, whatever. That would just be rubbish. I'm wildcarding 34, dead ending 33. Option 1, Tierney to James, then Rafinha to Maddison 33. Nice. Option 2, Tierney to Shaw, then Van Dijk to Fodder, and Rafinha to Bruno in 33 for -4. I feel like if you're dead ending, you want to try and like avoid the hits. Like not like a steadfast rule you cannot take hits, but I feel like Tierney to James and Rafinha to Maddison's pretty good. As long as you're happy to captain someone else. Like if you're in a position where you think, oh, I really just want to captain Bruno, then take the hit. But if you're not, like if you're happy to captain someone else, I probably wouldn't take the hits and just wildcard out of it. If you had the money, would you have done Tierney to Cancelo? I don't think so. Not this week. Like, if I did Tierney to Cancelo, who would I bench? I would probably just bench Trent. I just don't think it's worth it. I'd rather just save the transfer and reassess next week. I'm not convinced that Cancelo could massively hurt me this week. He might do. Maybe to get a clean sheet. Maybe he gets attack and returns. But I don't think I would do it this week. But I certainly would look at it next week, yeah. Start 2 of Rudiger, Tony and Weghorst, both the attackers. I think Brentford have got a pretty good game this week, right? It is West Ham at home, but I guess West Ham have just been in Europe. Tough game, good result in the end with the red card. I did think as well, by the way, like I saw on Twitter like people going, "Oh, we were on the attack when that fan ran on," and obviously that fan is an idiot, and they did have the ball in the final third-ish, but the way people were making it sound was like they were through on goal. But actually, I think it was like Fornals had the ball like maybe 25 yards out. I mean, I wasn't watching, so I don't know. Maybe before that they were really under the cosh, and like it was big for them to be getting forward. And obviously it's not good that the fan ran on, but the way people were making it sound like, I thought it was like a one-on-one or something. But either way, good result for West Ham. The red card I thought was harsh. I've only seen a replay on Twitter, so maybe it wasn't, but it looked harsh. Pretty damn good result. Could definitely go through. What's that got to do with anything we're talking about right now? I can't remember. Oh, Tony. Yeah, I'd probably just play Tony. Borka, thank you very much. We've got 5 minutes to get your teams locked in, by the way. I think I'm pretty much locked in. I'm going to play Dubravka. I'm going to captain Son, and I'm going to vice-captain Rafinha. Salah's not even getting the vice-captain this week. He's not even getting the vice-captain. I did see Payet's goal. Oh, my God. It was ridiculous. I want that guy back in the Premier League. Shame he left. I bet our West Ham fans, imagine if you kept him. So good. So exciting to watch. Like, what a hit. Just what a hit. Yeah, that's what I meant. I kind of assumed that because they were down to 10 men, it probably was a rare, like a, they probably hadn't been attacking that much. Obviously, it's not good, right? The invader, absolute idiot. Hopefully, his ban doesn't go to another game, right? But yeah, the way I was reading Twitter, I thought, oh god, he stopped a one-on-one. Would you play Ramsey or bring in Doherty for Tierney and play him? I mean, playing Doherty over Ramsey seems pretty good to me. If he fits into your long-term plans, I quite like that. Early team news. I hadn't even thought about that. No, I've not seen any early team news. It's Newcastle and Wolves, right? Hopefully Dubravka's playing. Do you think FPL should add in the vice captain gets 2 extra points? Nah, not really. When I first started playing, you did have a vice captain, but you did kind of get to pick them, I guess, but it wasn't quite how it is now. You had to pick based on form or value. Start Salah and Cody or Newcastle goalkeeper and Cody. Well, I mean, I would probably start a Newcastle goalkeeper and Cody because I'm starting the Newcastle goalkeeper. I have Salah and Dubravka like you. What's the reason for picking Dubravka? He's at Hyman. I think it's close, clean sheet wise. That's about it, really. There's really not too much else to it. If you think Salah's better, play him. Honestly, there's not much in it. And I can see lots of reasons why you would just go for Salah. I wouldn't do any more super chats now. I'm probably not going to get through any more after these. Captain Saka or Rafinha is differential. Rafinha, bench one, Nacho, Martinelli, Cucho or Cody. Cody, buy under 7 million striker for Jimenez or Justin for Tierney. I mean, Jimenez and Tierney are both not going to play in 33. So probably the striker, depending on who it is. Maybe Weghorst you could bring in still. Maybe St. Maximin. Playing Robertson, White or Ward-Prowse in what order? Probably reverse order. Ward-Prowse. Who has Southampton got again? Oh, it's Chelsea, isn't it? That makes it a bit trickier. I'm going to say White, Ward-Prowse, Robertson, maybe. Ward-Prowse is on penalties, though, isn't he? I'm going to say Ward-Prowse, White, Robertson, reverse order. Havertz or Kane? Kane's the obvious captain, right? You're not positive on James starting. I'm kind of not too, but I can't bench him. If I had to put money on it, I think James starts, but I'm not like 90% confident. It's more like 70 maybe. Start Willock. I think with Willock. I mean, it's against Wolves, which is good, but I don't think he's guaranteed to start. Was he not a doubt? Yeah, he's a doubt. He could play, but I don't think it's worth it. 1 minute until Pens down. Yes, let me see. Is Pens down from like exams, or is Pens down from bingo? Or is it from something else? Where does the saying Pens down come from? Or is it from something else completely? Right, this is my team. Luca Dean, the only sub. Son captain, Rafinha vice. My team is saved. Trent is playing, James is playing. There we go. Okay, it is exams. Okay. Would you say that in bingo? You probably wouldn't, would you? You don't need to put your pen down, do you? You can hold on to your pen the whole time. The pen has nothing to do with the balls being drawn. So yeah, exams. Makes sense. We're not locked yet. I hope you all bought Fred in, by the way. I was... like how some people think that I like hide my transfers then do them last minute on purpose. Secretly, I've got a separate tab over here, and I've bought Fred in for Rafinha. So just wait. I'm gonna announce that in a few seconds, to be honest. Yeah, eyes down, of course. Yeah, of course. But that's at the start, isn't it? I guess pens down is at the end. Eyes down at the start. I wish if I was like really great at Photoshop, I could do it quick. I would absolutely do it right now just to wind people up, but I don't. I don't have Fred. This is my team. We are locked in. Thank you for joining me for another deadline stream. We'll obviously be back on Sunday for the knee jerk. It's actually going to be a weird week where after Sunday all the matches will be done. And then we start looking ahead to Game Week 33. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be free hit drafts and stuff flying next week. I'll have to finally decide what transfer I'm making. Am I buying Fernandez? But thank you for watching. I've got to shoot off because I have stuff to do. Please do give it a like if you enjoy it. Hit that subscribe button. Oh, I'm tired. I need to yawn and stretch. Oh, if you're new around here. Yeah, thanks for joining me. Enjoy your weekend. Let's hope that Dubravka smashes Saar. I'm not sure it's going to happen, but let's see. And it'd be nice to get a Reece James start. And Rafinha and Weghorst, I really want points from them this week. I don't know which one. Which one do I want points from more, Rafinha or Weghorst? Probably Rafinha. It could be the last time. Anyway, thanks for watching. Give it a like, hit subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.